Welcome back to Takeout. President Trump just said this. Price tag for the new White House ballroom, now $300 million. That is an increase of $100 million, and it didn't take very long. Just a moment ago, the president talked about the plan, which we'll now see, CBS News has confirmed, the entire East Wing demolished. Listen.
Over the years, many presidents have made changes. This obviously would be the biggest change, but this was something they've wanted for at least 150 years.
Well, maybe, maybe not. We certainly know that ballroom is going to be very gold based on the picture he was just holding, like the Oval Office itself. I want to bring in our reporter panel, Deepa Shivram, White House correspondent for NPR. Eleanor Mueller covers Congress for Semafor. So any thoughts that you have on the demolition of the East Wing and this new ballroom and the cost?
I mean, it's certainly...
Which we should say is not all coming from President Trump. Yeah. Private donors are going to pony up, and that will clearly create avenues for them to communicate with the president in ways that they otherwise would not have.
Yeah, I think maybe we start with the fact that, like, the White House is a deeply significant and historical building. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to imagine just taking a bulldozer to a building this historic, exactly, without any kind of transparency, oversight, the process that has been in place to, you know, if there are changes made to the White House, which has happened before over the course of time. It's a very old building, but there is a process in place for what should happen when changes are requested to be made or presidents want to make changes. And what we've seen is a president making a number of small changes in the White House. We were just talking about the gold in the Oval Office. For one, the Rose Garden certainly looks different than it did 4 years ago. But this is a pretty large amount of construction happening right outside Pennsylvania Avenue that is going to have a really big impact and I guess is going to cost a lot of money.
Eleanor, we talked to some folks outside the White House today about this, and I believe our control room has this. Joe Thompson and Robert Massey. If we have it, play it.
So funny they're saying how Trump's destroying everything. Go back through history. All the different presidents. Truman gutted the place. Roosevelt made the West Wing. Nixon had his bowling alley. JFK had a swimming pool. So, you know, he's adding his touch. And it's going to be beautiful when it's done.
It's sacred ground. Like I say, past president has done it, yes, like I say, but now when so much going on, you know, a ballroom is the last thing that people need. Unless you're going to have a big block party for, like I say, he's going to invite me. I'll come.
Andrew Jackson style, big block party and invite everyone to come in. And
big block of cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Big block of cheese and claw through the windows and everything else. Eleanor, thoughts?
Well, I think we're seeing some signs on the Trump administration's behalf that they might know that they're in some hot water here. You know, they've told the employees at the Treasury Department to not share photos of the East Wing as it's under demolition. They've said now that they will provide the plans that they should have provided in the first place. And so, but of course, the damage has already been done. They've already taken a bulldozer to it. And so where we go from here, I think it's an open question.
We talked about this when I went to break. George Santos talked to CBS. Let's listen to what he had to say. He's had his sentence commuted by President Trump. He's now out of jail.
I have been given an opportunity to rewrite the ending of my life, and I will make sure that it's as honorable as humanly possible and above reproach at all times, because it would be an absolute ungodly irresponsibility to not take advantage of this and do it in the best way possible. I just want to do good.
I don't want to harsh his mellow, but let's just remind ourselves he denied he ever did anything wrong. Serially, and now he's acknowledging that he did something wrong. So let's just put that in context. Deepa?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I just feel like we're living in this state of like 900 things are happening at the same time.
We certainly are.
You think that we're done talking about someone like George Santos, and then it comes up as a major news item again today. And it just, you know, it also speaks to, I think, a lot of that, the almost strategy that comes out of the Trump administration too, right? Where it's like we flood the zone, and there's just a lot of flooding of the zone right now. No doubt. George Santos is in that bubble.
Eleanor, you have some new reporting on Marjorie Taylor Greene and her continued evolution within the House Republican Conference.
Yeah, I spoke with her on Friday. What's fascinating is that she does not see this at all as an evolution. You know, she says she's doing the same thing she's been doing since she ran for office, which is hold Republican policymakers accountable for not doing what they said they would do when they campaigned. She has been outspoken in her criticisms throughout the last couple of years. You know, she pretty infamously challenged Speaker Mike Johnson, spoke out against the Trump administration's Iran strikes, but we've seen a huge ramp up in the last weeks, sparked by the Republican Party's reluctance to negotiate with Democrats over healthcare tax credits. And so she's talking about how healthcare isn't affordable. She's talking about how she wants a House vote on the Epstein files, all of these things. And what is even more surprising, I think, than a very conservative MAGA lawmaker saying all these things out loud is that she's managed to do it in a way that has not isolated President Donald Trump. You know, he tweeted about Rand Paul, tweeted about Thomas Massie on Friday night, and then he said he was going to release George Santos, which is something that Marjorie Taylor Greene has desperately wanted. And so how she's managed to pull that off, I think a lot of people would like to know.
Great to have you with us, Eleanor Mueller, Deepa Shivram. I appreciate it.